Hello everyone, this is Kiran here. Today we are going to take mock interview of DIPANSHU, who is BCA graduate, and he is well versed in the Java full stack, right from core Java to Angular, front end, back end, both. In this interview, we'll be focusing more on the advanced Java, that is the Spring Boot, JDBC, Hibernate, Angular. Why? Because I have a lot of interviews already uploaded on the YouTube about the core Java. Right now, there are many interviews again coming for Stack, Python, and many more, and you guys are giving good response to it. So let's continue with DIPANSHU. Hello, DIPANSHU. Welcome. Yeah. So how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you. Okay, so you have done BCA in 2023. You don't want to do MCA now?
No, sir. I just want to grab the experience from IT.
Okay. So you want to take experience in IT and then you want to move forward.
Yeah.
Great. Then you are from Sansar.
Yes, sir.
Right. And in Bhopal you have done BCA.
Yeah.
Great. So Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh.
In Bhopal, how many engineering colleges are there?
So there are about 10 to 15.
10 to 15 engineering colleges are there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You have knowledge of Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then JDBC, right? Okay. So this interview will be more, we all will be focusing on the advanced Java. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's start with the JDBC directly.
Okay, sir.
What is statement and prepared statement? How they both differ?
So statement and prepared statement both are the interfaces which is present in Java.SQL package. And talking about the difference between both of them, so statement.
Can you be a little louder, please?
Yes, sir. So when we use when we have any static queries, so at the time we use statement, and prepared statement is used for static as well as dynamic queries, but it is preferable to use dynamic queries than talking about a statement.
What does dynamic means?
So dynamic means let's suppose we have a query, and at the time we want to put some input using users. So this is known as dynamic. And if we consist with statically, like when we create a query and at the time we insert a value, so this is known as static.
So you can say like static means no where conditions or no data changing there in the where condition, whereas in the dynamic query means data is frequently changing, like inserting different records or updating different records, deleting different records, like that you want to say, right? Great. Then what is result set?
So result set, it is also an interface, and let's suppose when we have any kind of prepared statement or statement, when we fire queries, so at the time we get records or bulk of records. So if we want to process the data, so at the time we use result set. It will.
What is commit and what is rollback?
Commit and rollback. Yes, sir. Actually, it is a DCL queries where it is used to control the data. And talking about commit, so when we write any kind of code and we want to restrict it like a undo, so at the time we use commit, it will hold our code statically. And talking about rollback, so when we use rollback, so it is generally used to undo our code.
Okay, so you are correct, but what happens now? You give answers in a revolving way rather. Go straight, like commit means it's a permanent save. Rollback means the data which is not permanently saved will get taken out, undo, like that.
Yeah.
You got my point? It's simple. Commit, rollback, are these methods of connection interface or result set interface, or these are not methods?
Commit. So actually it is in session in Hibernate, not in JDBC.
Yeah, it's there. Okay. It's of connection interface.
Connection interface.
Result set is interface or class?
Result set. It is an interface.
Statement?
Interface.
Prepared statement?
Interface.
Connection?
Interface.
Why these are all interfaces, no class?
So I don't have any proper explanation for that, but I guess it is totally depend on singleton framework. So that's why.
No, actually why they have done, because interfaces is at the abstract level. Java has created these many interfaces and their vendors needs to implement it. Vendors kind of MySQL, Oracle or something. Okay.
Yeah.
So interfaces means boss. Boss means who gives the specification,
Yeah.
who gives a signature, and here somebody has to write a implementation. So in this case, Java has created this interface so that other people can implement it. Other people means who?
Users or
No.
developers.
No, MySQL
Oh,
company,
yeah.
Oracle company. So they can implement it in their own way. Hopefully you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, Java is a centralized person. Then here MySQL, Oracle, like that. Okay, great. But good answers. Then JSP servlet, you are aware.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between JSP and HTML?
So in JSP, we can write Java-based code as well, but in HTML we can't write Java-based code. JSP is a server-side technology, where HTML is not a server-side technology. Yeah, that's it.
Which is faster, HTML or JSP?
So HTML is faster.
JSP is faster or servlet is faster?
Servlet is faster.
Why?
So because JSP needs to convert, so it translate into servlet and then compile.
Great. Okay. What is servlet lifecycle?
So servlet lifecycle goes in 4 phases, where first is loading and instantiation. Like suppose when we create a servlet object, it will load it into a memory. Then there is a second phase which is called initialization. At the time, init method of servlet will call, and after third phase, which is process the result, or handling the result, where the service method will be called, and after last phase is destroy.
When destroy method gets called?
So when we terminate our program, so at the time destroy method will call it from servlet.
When we
Terminate the program.
How to terminate program?
So when we close our server, so our program will be terminated.
How to close a server?
So just there is a kind of square red button. So when we click on that button,
That is stopping a server, not closing a server.
Yeah,
Got my point?
yeah.
It's same you want to say. So you choose correct words,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not a closing of server. But anyway, what you said is again correct. What is difference between Spring and Spring Boot?
Talking about the difference between Spring and Spring Boot. So Spring is a framework, while Spring Boot is an extension of Spring framework. Spring, we have to write lots of code inside the Spring, but there is in Spring Boot there is a annotation called enabled auto configuration. So with the help of that, we have to write more simpler code inside that, because there are lots of annotation introduced in Spring Boot. Then in Spring application, when we use a Spring application, so we need to create an explicit server. But
Be slow. Take pauses in between statements. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
So when we use a Spring based application, so there we need to create a explicit server. But in talking about Spring Boot application, so there is a embedded server. So that's the difference between both of them.
Which is good.
So Spring Boot is good.
Okay. Any annotation of Spring Boot,
Yes, there are lots of annotation inside that, like REST controller.
REST controller is a annotation of Spring Boot or Spring?
So it is a Spring Boot.
No, it's of Spring. Spring Boot application is there, right?
Yeah.
That is created by Spring Boot.
Okay.
Yeah. So all these annotations are Spring only. The Spring Boot is built on top of, as you said, it's an extension of Spring.
Okay.
Spring has built everything, and Spring Boot is just using it. Okay, got the point?
Yeah.
Then, how to start a Spring Boot project?
Means create.
Yeah, how you will do?
So first, I will go in a Spring initializer where I create a Spring Boot project, then import in our Eclipse ID. Then after that, go in a starter application file, and start a application, Java application.
Okay, what's the use of pom.xml?
So pom.xml, it stands for project object model, and actually it is a heart of our project where we define the dependencies of our project.
Okay. So what happens after putting the dependencies?
So when we insert dependencies, it will download the jars.
Where it downloads?
So when we insert the dependency, it will create a libraries folder. Inside that, it will download.
It's in .m2 folder. Okay.
Dot.
That's a local repository of Maven.
Yeah.
Okay. In C drive, you'll see that. Good. What help does Maven is giving you?
So Maven, actually it is a built-in a project built-in tool which is used to build a kind of very project. There are lots of artifacts as well, like Spring starter files, quick starter files as well. So with the help of that, we can create projects.
Okay. So what helps Maven is giving? I still not understand.
See, it will simpler to define kind of harder project, like to define a Spring based application. So with the help of that Maven, we can easily create a Spring application.
Yeah, you should say in that case, dependencies will get downloaded automatically.
Yeah.
While running project, it is helpful. Automatically, jar will get created. So like that usage that this Maven is giving. Building process is simple. Compilation process is simple. Okay, mainly dependencies. Okay. In dependencies also mainly compiled dependencies, dependent dependencies like X dependencies there, then Y, Z, PQ are all dependencies related to that dependency will get downloaded automatically.
Yeah.
Got the point?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Then I can see in your resume first, like Hibernate. See, everything depends upon your resume. Interviewer keeps checking your resume here, there, like that, and he will keep asking questions related to.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I see there are a lot of annotations there, right? Request mapping, gate mapping, right?
Yeah.
Where you write these annotations?
So means in resume or
No. Where you write these annotations in your project?
So sorry, I didn't.
At request mapping, at gate mapping, where to write?
In controller class.
Perfect. In controller class.
Yeah.
What is the difference between gate mapping and request mapping?
Gate mapping and request mapping. So gate when we use when we create a API, so at the time we use gate mapping, and when we use simply MVC approach application, at the time we use request mapping. So actually gate mapping is a combination of request mapping plus get method, and request mapping is its own mechanism.
Means what?
So actually, get mapping is used to fetch the data from the server, and with the help of request mapping, we can define a very various method. Like there is a attribute called method inside that. So with the help of that, we can we can conclude like post, get, delete, put as well.
Yeah, but in simple words, you should say request mapping is comprised of get mapping, post mapping, and everything.
Yeah.
Get mapping will be only supporting get request.
Get request.
Whereas request mapping will be supporting everything, get, post, and all. Understood?
Yeah.
So this is the way you need to give an answer in a simpler way. Good, but you are correct. You are doing hard work also. I see. You already told me. I think you gave a lot of mock interviews also. The institute is providing and all. So now you should be improving on the wordings.
Okay.
But not problem. Okay, why to use REST API? What is the use of REST APIs?
So actually, when we use MVC based approach, so at the time we have we have to write a lot harder code, and it will slow down our execution of a program. So with the help of that, with the help of API approach, so we can we can write our backend code separately and front end code separately, and while merging of that, it will create a perfect web-based application which is responsive.
Okay. If this question would have been asked to me, I would have said REST API. What's the use of REST? You are also correct, but I'll answer this time. I'm gonna answer most of your questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So this will help to our audiences also.
Yeah.
What's the use of REST API then? to communicate between two applications, two separate applications. One application exposes data, another consumes data.
Yeah.
So like this communication, if you want to do, then you should be going for REST API. And it makes things simpler rather the monolithic application. Okay, everything is at one place. No, here code will get divided.
Okay.
Somebody will be consuming it. How you test REST APIs?
So using Postman too.
Any other competitor of Postman, you know?
So no idea, so sorry.
No idea.
Yeah.
So keep exploring such things. Okay, so it's a SOAP UI, and there are many there. Okay,
Yeah.
What's the use of Postman?
So it is used to test the RESTful APIs. I mainly used for that.
It is used to test RESTful
RESTful
API.
APIs.
How to test?
So, like suppose if we create a post mapping application, so first we write the URL inside that, like API and endpoint, all that stuff inside the URL. Then select our HTTP.
What is that? URL means what? What to say?
So it is a combination of
It's endpoint.
yeah, endpoint.
Mhm.
So after selecting our post or get or what type of HTTP method, then if we use a post mapping, so we want to put our stuff into body. There is a body attributes. So inside that we need to put our data. So with the help of that we can get the post mapping.
Great. Okay. So how to test API means you should be using a Postman. Very correct. Then Postman is by which company?
Sorry, sir.
No problem, and not very important, or it's not expected that you should be aware of. But sometimes such a random question, somebody may fire you. So awareness, if it is there, then okay, but it is not compulsory. Okay. How you relate if you want to build an application, then how you will be putting Spring Boot and Hibernate and database in place? Like how the flow would be?
So let's suppose if we create a Spring-based application, so we need to create a go for Spring initializer. Here we create a Spring-based application, then import it in our Eclipse, then create a main package, which is like suppose we create a JDBC package. So inside that we need to create 3 or 4 packages like controller, service, model. So inside the controller we write our APIs handler. Inside service we write a business logic, and inside the DAO we write a code for database connections.
Okay, but this question should be handled in such a way that you should say Spring will be receiving a request from Postman, then it reaches to Hibernate, and then it reaches to database. That's it.
Okay.
Where the question was like how Spring is handled and
How
Hibernate and database act. How the data flows. You should not telling like I was inputting a project, then I was putting into the Eclipse and all. Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
Eclipse importing is your headache. Interviewer want only how the flow goes, which technology is used at which place. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your question should look matured, your answer should look matured, and you're doing that. But still, see, addition is a problem. You need to delete something.
Yeah.
You have a long answer, just delete it.
Okay.
Simple, right? Rather making it longer. Then, which version of Hibernate you have used?
So I use 6 as well as 5.
Okay, Spring Boot,
3.
Spring.
So I think
Okay, so inside Spring Boot, if you click that on that jar, you will get to know which version is there.
Yeah.
Okay, Spring Boot has lower version always, and Spring has higher version because Spring is introduced earlier and later they introduced Spring Boot. Got my point? Okay, great. Any inbuilt method of Hibernate you know?
Hibernate. So there are lots of inbuilt method in Hibernate like persist, merge, update, remove, delete.
What is the difference between load method of Hibernate and get method of Hibernate?
So load and get both are used to get the data from the database. But when we use load, and if we don't have any kind of data inside our database, so at the time it will fire a null pointer exception. While in get, if there is no data is present inside the database, it will fire null.
Load method.
Get method.
Get gives a null, load
use null pointer exception.
Null or object not found exception?
Yes, sir. So I'm little bit.
No problem. It's a object not found exception. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Not big deal. At your level, you know these many things. That's better. But always be. I'm not saying shorter answers. I'm saying shorter answers in a big way, but up to the focus. Up to the mark means focusing on the point. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's very easy to do. Don't worry. There is merge method, right, in Hibernate?
Yes, sir.
Why to use that?
So if you want to update any particular data at the time you use merge, it will introduce in.
But there is update method also.
So it is used in. It was from 5th version, and merge is from 6th version.
Which version of Angular you are using?
Angular 12.
So what's the use of Angular in your project?
See, it will use to create a front end for our application. And the main feature of Angular is it will provide a single page application. So when we
what is the difference between Angular and TypeScript?
Angular and TypeScript. So Angular is a framework, while TypeScript is a static language. It will support 𝐲𝐝TH concept as well.
Can it be possible that Angular exists but TypeScript you don't know?
Yes, sir. The first version of Angular is based on JavaScript.
So you don't know TypeScript, still you can build application in Angular?
No, sir.
So
can you replace one?
If you don't know TypeScript,
yeah,
and if I ask you to develop application in Angular, is it possible or not?
So it might be possible.
What is Bootstrap?
So Bootstrap, it is a CSS framework which is used to make our application attractive and responsive as well.
So responsive.
Yeah.
What is CSS? Why do you use CSS?
So if you want to make design in our application, so at the time we use CSS.
Hibernate is an ORM tool, right?
Yes, sir.
Why we say it as an ORM tool?
So actually ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping, where JDBC is not supported ORM. ORM means let's suppose in Hibernate, in Java application we used to store data in the form of object, and in SQL we used to store data in the form of tables. While merging of that, it will combine ORM tool, means we can directly map object to our database. So it will consist Hibernate. So it is a ORM tool. Actually, it is introduced by Gravin.
So everything it is introduced by
Gravin King in 2001.
Okay. But ORM, it's object relational mapping. So everything Hibernate works on the objects. Can you write SQL statements in Hibernate?
SQL statement. Yes, sir.
How to write? Where to write?
So
because there are inbuilt functions, right?
Yeah.
So how you will write SQL?
With the help of HQL, we can write SQL as well.
So SQL you cannot write. HQL you can write.
So HQL and SQL both are the query-based language, where HQL is independent, while HQL is independent and SQL is dependent.
My question is SQL and HQL. Can we write both in Hibernate? Yes or no?
So I know about SQL. I didn't know about SQL inside Hibernate.
It's possible both. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. In get named SQL query, that is a function over there that we can do that. Okay. In Angular, you wrote, about pipes, right? What is that pipes?
So pipe, actually it is a decorator, and if we have any kind of data from our backend, and we don't want to change real estate of that data, we just want to transform or modify the data. So at that time we use pipe. There are two type of pipe: built-in and custom pipe, where following are the example of built-in pipe, like title case, uppercase, lowercase. And to to create a customized pipe, there is a CLI command called ng gp and then pipe name.
What is data binding?
So data binding, actually, if you want to bind the data from, HTML file or view file to TS file dynamically, so at the time we use data binding. There are two types of data binding: one-way data binding and two-way data binding.
If I ask you to develop an application where data should be saved into database by using a REST API and Angular, will you be able to do that?
Yes, sir.
Right from the scratch?
Yes, sir.
So first, what will be your steps?
So first, I will create a database, then create a Spring-based application where we will write all that stuff like controller class, service class, all that stuff, RESTful APIs. And after that, we create a Angular-based application and create a service to merge the backend and
how to call endpoint or API from Angular?
From Angular. So we need to create a service where we first write a base URL and we use observable interface. With the help of that, we can merge both of them.
For every API, you will do that?
Yes, sir.
So you mean to say 10 APIs means 10 observable interfaces will be?
So actually, we need to create a particular method inside the service class. So with the help of that, we can merge both of them.
Okay, great. What is Firebase?
So Firebase is a NoSQL database where we store data in a form of tree. So when I was at my college, I created a project Android application. So there I use Firebase.
What is the difference between MySQL and Firebase?
So in MySQL, we store data in a form of tables. In Firebase, we store in a tree form, in node form.
Okay. Any other difference? What is RDBMS?
So RDBMS, it is stand for Relational Database Management System, where we use to store data in a form of tables, and we can combine it like join the.
So
tables.
Firebase is a RDBMS or not?
No, it is a NoSQL.
Okay, then how to fetch data from the NoSQL database?
So we need to create a references in our application. So with the help of that, we can fetch the data.
So in the format of JSON, they are storing it?
No, sir.
No.
So I didn't idea of that.
Okay, no problem. Which MySQL version you have used? 8.
Yes, sir. 8.0.
I see that you have developed projects also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So can you explain me this EMS?
Yes, sir. Recently, I created a EMS application where EMS stands for Employee Management System. And for the front end, I use Angular. For the back end, I use Spring Boot. And at the database layer, I use Hibernate as well as SQL. Then talking about the objective of EMS. So when I was at my school, so I felt like there is very messy to organize our employees for our management organization. So for inspiring of that, I created EMS application. So basically,
What it was doing actually?
So actually, it is used to organize the employees for our management or organization. Where I work only in one module called admin, where I created a lot of pages like add employee, all the basic CRUD operation like add
Another is QuickNote web application.
Yeah.
What is that?
So QuickNote web application, actually I built I developed it for just myself because I'm very enthusiastic to build my routine. So for that I just created QuickNote.
You was second ranker in hackathon, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. In college, you was developing something?
Yes, I created Android application.
That's for mobile.
Yeah, mobile.
So why you didn't go into the Android? Why you are doing the project?
So I totally focus on full stack. So that's why I go in that.
Okay. In HTML, how to create table?
So to create a table, we have a table tag. Inside the table tag, we have two tags, which is t head and t body. Inside the t head, we write th tag, and inside that tr tag. Inside tr, we write th, which is our column name. And in t body section, we t body tag. So we create the tr inside the td.
Okay. What is the difference between th and td?
So th is stand for table heading, while td is stand for table data.
What do you know in CSS? I understand that it is useful for beautifying a page.
Yeah.
But what you know inside CSS? What you learned?
So as I told before, it is used for designing purpose, where I use internal, external, inline CSS as well. There are lots of with the help of selectors, we can define it like ID selector, element selector, tag selector as well.
Okay. What is ID in HTML?
So ID, it is a attribute. It is a global attribute actually, and it is used to take a reference of that particular tag.
Okay. Okay. So can you open your laptop now? Let
Yes,
me
sir.
see if you can develop something. I think join the link which or share your screen. Now what I want is you use database called any name whatever you want. I want product table having product name, product ID and product cost.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I want to fetch all the product having above 5,000 price.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Clear?
Yeah.
So 3 columns: product ID, product name, product price. So this you need to develop
Using Spring application.
Yeah, Spring Boot application. So write down one API which will be tested on the Postman.
Okay.
You understood this task?
Yes,
It may take time, but you need to develop that. Okay?
Okay.
So start. So now you have created this application. So my question is, what is the role of service? What is the role of controller?
So controller, it is used to define the handlers, API handlers, which is methods. So with the help of that, we can communicate between the front end and back end between the two applications. While talking about the service, it is used to write a business logic.
Business logic here, what is the business logic?
So business logic is when, let's suppose when we get the data from Angular, front end, or when we get the data from the database as well. So it will just manipulate the data, add some functionality as well. So this is a business logic, we can say that.
Okay, and validations also.
Validations.
Okay, so let's move back to core Java. If some questions needs to be asked. What is the difference between equals and hash code method?
Equals and hash code. So both are the method inside the object class. While hash code, it is used and it will return the integer, which is used to define the memory address of our object. While equals method, it is used to compare the references of the object. And should I explain the relationship between both of them?
Yeah, how they related to each other.
So let's suppose if we compare the references with the help of equals method. So if that the object is equals, it means hash code value will be same.
What is the difference between string equals method and object class equals method?
So string equals method will will compare the content, while the object class equals method will compare the references.
Okay, can class be final?
Yes, sir. Class.
Can you create object of final class?
Final class. Yes, sir.
If method is final, can you call that method from outside?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can final method be overridden?
No, sir.
Can we have variable as an abstract final?
No, sir.
No, pakka.
Yeah. Actually.
Can we have static final method?
Yes, sir.
Can you have abstract variable?
No, sir.
Can you do overloading with the private methods?
No, sir.
Why?
So because the access modifier overloading. Yeah, we can overload private method.
Okay. If method is static, can it be overridden?
No, sir.
So this is a rapid fire I'm taking. So a lot of questions you'll be facing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to stop something from overriding, what should you do?
Overriding. So I will create the class private.
No. It should be a class final.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is the topmost class of every class?
Object.
Okay. Java supports multiple inheritance or not?
No.
In case of
interface, it will support it.
Okay. So the answer should be in case of multiple, in case of interface it supports, but not in case of
classes.
Garbage collection, which are the methods you know?
Garbage collection.
This concept is there. So which are the methods it will be using?
So GC
method.
Yeah.
Any more method is related to garbage collection in Java?
So
that's finalize.
Finalize.
What is the access specifier of finalize method?
Public.
Protected. How many methods are there in the object class?
11.
Okay. Wait method is in which class?
Object class.
Okay. What is the return type of run method?
Run method. Sorry, sir.
Okay. What is the return type of start method which is there in the thread class?
It's a void.
What is the return type of add method of array list?
Boolean.
What is the return type of put method of hash map?
Put object.
Yeah. String buffer is introduced. String builder is introduced in which version?
String buffer.
String builder.
JDK 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
Any feature you know of JDK 1.8?
So there are lots of features inside the JDK 1.8, like it will support.
I need one name.
Lambda expression, functional interface.
Lambda expression introduced in 1.8 or 1.5?
1.8.
Do you know reflection?
Reflection. No, sir.
Is this a concept of Java or not?
Reflection. So, no idea, sir. Sorry.
Servlet is faster or JSP is faster?
Servlet is faster.
Hibernate is faster or JDBC is faster?
So talking about the development, then Hibernate is faster. Talking about execution, then JDBC is faster.
Okay. Any method you know of collection interface?
Collections.
Collection interface.
So like there is add, remove, contains.
What is the difference between collection and collections class?
So collections, it is a utility class which have some static member and member function.
Okay, scanner class is in which package?
Java.util.
Okay, hash table is in which package?
Hash table. Java.map package.
Map is a package? No.
It is the interface. Util, yeah.
Okay. In import, if I write star, what is going to happen?
It will import all the packages.
All the packages or all the files?
Files, yeah.
All the files?
So all the classes and interfaces.
Any inbuilt package you know in Java?
Inbuilt package, Java.util package, Java.sql package, Java.lang package.
Okay. Thread class is in which package?
Java.lang package.
Okay. Any class you know of IO package?
That's a file input stream, file output stream, object input stream, object output stream.
What is the super class of array list?
Array list, abstract list.
What is super class of abstract list?
Object.
Abstract collection.
Abstract list.
What is the super class of tree set?
Super class.
It's the interface that is sorted, sorted set. Okay.
Okay.
Set. What is the super interface of set?
Collection.
What is super interface of list?
Collection.
What is super interface of map?
So it does not have any.
It doesn't have. Yeah. Right, very right. All methods are synchronized. In which type of collection class?
Synchronized. Hash table.
Any other you know?
So in collection, you're talking. There is a vector as well.
Perfect. Vector is slower or array list is slower?
Vector is slower.
Okay, and why?
So because array list is non-synchronized and vector is synchronized. So array list support multi-threading while vector does not support multi-threading.
Okay. Statement is sub-interface or prepared statement is sub-interface?
It's prepared statement.
More feature statement will have or more feature will be there in the prepared statement?
So more feature will be in prepared statement.
Prepared statement?
Yeah.
Okay. ToString method is in which class?
Object class.
Okay. What it returns?
A string.
Okay. If I print any object reference, what it will print?
It will print the string representation of that object.
So its address? Can class be private?
Yeah. Outer class cannot be private, but inner can be.
Can class be static?
Inner class can be static.
Can class be abstract?
Yes, sir.
Can we have private method inside interface?
Private method? Yes, sir. Using JDK 1.9, we can create a private method as well inside interface.
Okay. What is the access specifier variable should have in interface?
Sorry, sir.
What is access specifier variable should have in interface?
Public finance static.
It's public, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all. I have asked you many questions in this last 5 minutes, and it was good to face those interview questions. So my feedback would be like communication is good, everything is good, passion is good. You have that thing like to code and everything. You know advanced things also, right from database to your Angular and everything. What is expected is to improve fluency in the talking.
Yes.
Do not talk something which is not related, or try to focus on the exact point, like how you will make a current controller class. Don't tell right from the Eclipse opening and then importing and everything. It should be very specific. Got my point? So guys, those who are seeing this interview, the last 5 minutes was very important, where you can see all rapid fire questions. So fast he has answered. He is a B.C.A, not even M.C.A, M.Sc or B. He is more than that. Generally, I meet many engineers, many people. So he has prepared himself. So it's time for you to prepare yourself and get the job. The market is not so good right now. The current situation is not so hot that anybody can take you inside a company. Just now I was talking to him. He was saying in one of the company I was I got selected some day back, but they were asking deposit money and also like that, many things happening in the market. So be careful, but you should be careful for preparing yourself, because you will be at the losing end and nobody wants you to lose. I hope this interview might have been helpful to you. Look at the guy, how he developed application from the scratch. When I asked him to fetch the products from the database, he has flawlessly executed that. So that confidence, that expertise, that proficiency you should be building in yourself. So guys, with this, share this mock interview if you liked, or share this mock interview with your friends so that they can also prepare and get into the interview and get into the good company. Thank you, DIPANSHU.
Thank you.
See you again. I hope you enjoyed this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.